All right, let's go ahead and get started today. Welcome everybody to our weekly GraphQL community meeting. I will show the agenda real quick. We've got several items to go through for today. We're going to get started with showing this GraphQL 152 issue allow scalars as resolver return type. That's an issue that the guys worked on during contribution day in Singapore. So I'll ask Alex and Soren, I believe, to tell us about that one. We'll show a story by Alex around only showing active categories. We've got a story around managing the wish list by another Alex. And then we've got an update on adding simple products to cart by Roma. And with that, let me see if, I don't see Soren here yet. Oh, Sarab, that's right. But I'll pass the word to Alex and he can tell us a little bit about the event in Singapore.
So let me share my screen. So basically, like around 10 days ago, we had event in Singapore. It was Meet Magento Singapore, and we had GraphQL session over there, and we also highlighted contributors to GraphQL project, as you may see. And we had pretty good contribution day, even though most people who attended this contribution day never contributed to Magento before, and that's why we had some questions around the process and where to contribute, how to contribute, what is the recommended environment. And unfortunately, we didn't do as many pull requests as we expected to GraphQL project, but we've done like one really good pull request, which I hope will get demonstrated today by the author, Sarab. And we also got several pull requests to Magento 2 project in general. And this is how the event went. So basically, we had around like 15 people attending. And a lot of interest around GraphQL project specifically, and hopefully several guys from contribution day will continue contributing to the project. And this was just like some fun introduction part to the conference. Yeah, so probably that's it from my side. I suppose we can move on to the next item first, and then if Sarab joins, he can present his item. If not, then I will present item.
Okay, yeah, Sarab hasn't, I guess it would be his first demo with us.
Yep.
So maybe he's still getting set up. Okay, so let's, in that case, let's move on to the second story. Let me see what that was. That was the active categories story. Alex, do you want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, I want to tell you something about this one. Yeah, that was the story. Let's just share my screen. This I have it open already. So this issue, yeah, was created on a Zen Hub by Artyom, yesterday also with us, and this story journey came up with PVI development, if I'm right. And he mentioned that the GraphQL returns always all categories, no matter of their status. And yeah, he made a story that we have to restrict the GraphQL expo like query that it's returned only in the active category, because we didn't find any use case where we needed inactive categories be returned with a call. Yep. Oh, cool. Here was even some visualizations here. Cool. Yep. And so we took this issue, and generally all kudos are going to our new developer at Comrab, who supported us in development of this ticket and who generally made a main implementation of it. And yeah, so we have a pull request here, which is already accepted by Alex. We just need to cover it with a test. That's what will come, I guess, in next week. And here's a small demo also can show you that's the current category request, which is quite standard, which return currently the names of all categories we have in the system. And I'll close this one. And if you just go to a backend and deactivate one of the categories, then it also will disappear from the return list. That's all from my side for now. So which is still open. Yeah, we will cover it with a unit test and hope then we can merge it. Yep, that's all. If you have any questions.
Only one notice, we talk about not unit test, but about API functional test.
Ah, yeah, correct. Sorry, yeah, you're right. All right. Yep, good. Then I'm done.
Okay, so I believe we should have somebody going next. Misha stepped out. So I believe Alexei can present the next one about my account, right?
Yeah, hi everyone. What I'm going to show you is a wish list covered by GraphQL functionality. So I'm going to share my screen and show you how it actually works. Nothing special. Just a second. Yeah, here we go. If everybody see my screen. What we have is pretty simple, like the customer functionality. So here we go. We have a wish list and wish list items in it, and it is only done for customer if we already log in. So if we click, if we get an query, we'll get, here we go, we get a list of data here, and if we logged in, signed out, for example, just a sec. Yes, and we didn't have anything in that case, and I haven't done writing tests, so I think that's all from my side. And the list of the params we can see in GraphQL file as usual. So I think that's all.
Cool. So I think a couple comments. I saw product ID as part of as a field that was returned in the wish list. I think our current strategy was to use SKU, right, instead of product IDs.
Yeah, I suppose we will just adjust schema a little bit during review stage, because I believe this pull request has not been reviewed yet, and it's really useful. We just need to adjust schema a little bit.
Yeah, this is really great. I know you said this is nothing special, but this is actually really good, because Wishlist is one of the more commonly used functionalities of in my account and across the site. So this will be great. I wanted to clarify scope though, just a little bit. The story that you're working on for Wishlist, is it? I haven't checked, but is it only for querying, or is it for mutations also?
I saw already mutations issue is already created, and that's why I'm working on the just in query.
Just query. Okay, cool. Just just trying to understand scope. So we broke it out into mutations and queries. Okay. I wanted to mention too that I don't think we have interfaces like PHP interfaces yet that are technically APIs for Wishlist, but like service contracts. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's correct. We don't have actually for Wishlist interfaces. So yeah, and it was a little bit confusing to understand what how to name items and what already what should be inside those items. So I've just checked the wishlist item table and actually just copy all the names into wishlist items query. So that's all.
Okay. Yeah, I wanted to mention there is, so Wishlist is something that we've wanted to have service contracts for a long time. And there is a somewhat active PR independent of GraphQL for creation of those service contracts. It's not complete, but it's like halfway implemented. So I just wanted to mention, I don't think it's something that we need to it's not anything that we need to merge together yet. But if it happens to come through at some point in time, it's very soon, then maybe that's something that we take into account. So kind of two independent things working on the same. But this looks good for now, and we can continue working on it as we do the review. Great. Awesome. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Let's see, let's move on to the next item. Roma, want to take the word?
Sure. Hi, guys. I'm still working on adding product, actually simple product to cart.
You went on mute.
Whoa. Sorry for that. It's always happened to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that I'm gonna tell you what was done since the last meeting, and yeah, what I need to do to complete this task. So basically this week I mainly work on enabling custom option adding to the simple cart. So before I show you that it was possible to add the product by SKU along with quantity, and this week I enable ability to specify selected custom options. So right now there is ability to add the selected custom options of drop-down and radio button types, also field and text area types, as well as date time types, and multi-select options type is also supported. And the checkbox is also there. And the list type, which is advanced in comparison to those ones, is file custom option type, which I'm gonna add in this week. Yeah, I believe after this meeting. So we already have a concept, and in which we're gonna pass the file content as a value of this option, and then we will have an additional handler to save this content and then validate, and in the final we will save it in the database as it was done from the front end, from the current front end, and from the REST API. So in a GraphQL, it looks like this. So here you can see that drop-down value, also field type, also some information about, I believe, multi option type of option. And yeah, this is 66. It's about the not checkout, but checkbox type. So yeah, also I've been adding I've added ability to differentiate, to vary, depends on authorization header. So it depends on that header we change the way of loading the cart. So it depends on the guest request or authorized request. And also working with this task, I also had to create one more task, which is now assigned to Alex, and it's about showing the hashed value of cart item instead of IDs. So as you know, we are not gonna show IDs, real IDs of cart entities like cart items, but instead we're gonna show the hashed ones. So this is task about that, and it's kind of separate stuff. Also, I've been looking for required fixtures for writing the API functional test for this pull request. And now I create a pull request with the label in progress to be able to give ability to Alex to review all my work. And I got the first feedback, which I'm gonna review as well as a review feedback from Travis. So after this stuff, yeah, I'll be good to pass this stuff to you, Alex, to review it once again and then hopefully merge it to the main line. And that's probably it from my update for this week. Thank you, guys.
Cool. Thanks for that. I want to maybe ask for if anyone has any questions about implementations or what Roma showed.
Yeah, so basically this is great pull request, and to be honest, this is huge. It's, I believe, more than 1,000 lines of code. And also the great benefit of this pull request is that it will unlock other tasks that we currently have depending on it, like adding virtual products to cart and other types of products to cart. So as soon as we are able to merge Roman's pull request, we can start working on the other ones. And the other ones should be much easier to implement because in scope of current pull request, Roma is adding a lot of base types for cart and product type resolver and all those functionality which is shared between different product types. So that's why it's extremely useful.
Yeah, true. Can approve.
Awesome. Well, yeah, great work and great progress there. Obviously, other product types will follow once we get this in, like Alex was saying.
And also, I can see that Saurabh joined, so probably we can give a word to Saurabh to present his task that he contributed during Contribution Day in Singapore.
Yeah. Thanks, Saurabh, for joining us. We're glad to have you. If you want to share your screen and tell us a little bit about the feature or the story that you worked on.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And well, as Alex mentioned, that we started this on Contribution Day in Singapore just before this meet Magento, and it was a great experience for me. This will be first contribution in community, including like overall in Magento's infrastructure and nearby. So first time I'm contributing anywhere, and this task was related to allowing scalar value, scalar as a return type in resolvers. And default we have a resolver defined, and it has like various implementation. So first we need to change its definition to allow scalars, and all the implementation where we have used this function, we had to change their implementation as well, so that both are in sync. And it was like relatively simple task, but I think that was all nothing that I can show you right now. So if you want to add something, Alex, I don't know what to say more.
Basically, what guys did at Contribution Day, it allowed us to avoid boilerplate code. Probably you already noticed that if you implement resolver and you don't need performance optimization to resolve this n+1 problem, then usually you end up in situation when you have just anonymous function, and then you instantiate object of deferred value and you return it. So actually, I can probably share screen just to show what we're talking about. Yeah, so basically, if you looked at any resolvers or implemented some, you probably had situation when you had to declare this anonymous function and just return simple array or scalar value here and then wrap it into deferred value object and return it. And this was originally designed for resolution of this n+1 problem when you have to load one-to-many relations. Like, for example, you are loading configurable product and you want to show all simple products which represent its options. So you can have, let's say, 100 options for this product. And if you try to get details about simple products for this configurable, you will basically have to, by default, like iterate through each record and load data each time separately. And what this deferred value mechanism allows us is basically not to fetch it from database immediately, I mean, for each simple product, but instead just to say, hey, I know that somebody requested this SKU and then the next SKU. So you basically collect all SKUs which are requested. And then when the time comes, you just make single request to database and you can resolve like all simple products associated with configurable at once. And it allows you to make just, let's say, 2 requests to database. One is for main configurable and second request to fetch all the data for associated simple products instead of basically 101 queries. But over time, we just noticed that we don't always need this optimization, and it often led to boilerplate code like you can see on the screen. And the idea behind this task was just to allow returning scalar types directly. So basically replace this boilerplate code with just like simple return. And that was actually what was done by Saurabh in scope of this task. And it required, in addition to modification of the interface itself, it required some refactoring around the code base because we already have quite a number of places where we have such boilerplate code. Yeah, so probably that's it. And again, it's great that new people are joining the community, and especially Magento community in general and GraphQL project specifically. So thanks, Saurabh, and thanks, guys, for working on GraphQL.
Yeah, this is great. Welcome. Yeah, welcome again. Hopefully, you got a feel for this project, and we can use your help in the future. That's for sure. Cool. I think that brings our today's agenda to a close. Does anyone have any last comments or suggestions or any thoughts on any work they've been doing?
I have one question. Generally, there will be in 3 days will be the contribution day in Magento Poland, and just want to know if somebody will go there.
Not us.
Looks like not.
If I'm not mistaken, one guy from Magento community engineering team will be here, and Max Ekaterink, if I'm not mistaken, will be here. So I think if somebody would like join to GraphQL, it will be possible. Also, I will be online, and if somebody have questions, these guys could ping me at Saturday. So this is no problem.
Cool.
Yeah, you gotta represent GraphQL, Alex, for us.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess I'm an only one. Yeah, I'll try. I'll try.
All right. Well, you promised us all those pull requests, so you have to you get a team to work with you. So
yeah, I'll use another people to make pull requests for you. No worries.
That's allowed. You know what? As long as there's progress.
Okay, good. Fine.
All right. Cool. Well, good luck, and yeah, maybe you can tell us a little bit next week about how that went.
Good. Yep. Deal. That's fine.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks.
Bye.
Great one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.